everyone, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Tatyana Galaxy and I'm holding PhD in integrated medicine plus colon hydrotherapy, energy work and lots of other things. So I'm practicing here in Asheville, North Carolina. This morning came up with very interesting idea, so I decided to share this idea with you. And if you would like to support me with that, so please put your thumbs up. So this way I would know that idea actually passes through, right? The idea that I came up this morning gonna relate to one of the company that I worked for so many years, and it was the first company that I started to take very seriously, and I decided to bring the company into my business. I decided why not to share with you with a company that actually you guys gonna be very enjoy, and I'm gonna tell you my story, why I so confident with that company, and what actually at certain point saved my life and the life of my especially youngest child. Let me start from the beginning. Back in 2004, I started to have some kind of symptoms that none of the doctor was able to put their fingers on. So I was going from doctor to doctor, referral to referrals, and finally I having back then already my medical degree in Russia, I already started to think that instead of just going from doctor to doctor, I have to set myself up with all these tests, and I have to tell the doctors what to do, because whatever they were setting me up, I was very, very unhappy because the results were incredibly good. I felt incredibly bad and I did not enjoy the situation at all, because I just had my third child, and I was kind of struggling. So after I started to do all my researches, I realized that there is something wrong with my thyroid, and I asked my regular doctor back then to set me up with an ultrasound. So the symptoms that I have, just to let you know, I was very tired all the time. I started to have depression. I mean, mild depression, not like suicidal depression, but I didn't see anything like any blue sky, you know. Everything was kind of dark to me, gray, and so on. And day after day I did not feel energized, neither in the morning or in the evening. You know, the usually symptoms that are related to thyroid very similar with symptoms of adrenal deficiency also, and many others. But since I knew the medicine very well, I decided to set myself up for ultrasound and see what's going on in my thyroid, because all the blood tests were actual conversions was good, TSH was good, T43, everything was good. However, it didn't change any situation with my health, you know. So I decided to have this ultrasound, and yes, ultrasound did show that I have some nodules. So of course I had to check what kind of nodules, because I know a lot of people don't like to do biopsy, and it's a personal business of every one of us, you know. But I'm the person, if I'm not gonna do profound researches, even if it's related to me or my family, you know, I would not sleep well. Let's put this way. So I decided to do some profound checkups, I would say, and the biopsy came back with a result of it was benign nodules, right? However, I did not kind of, you know, it came. I came to a conclusion that, well, I have to just leave it like that, and started to do my researches again, and all researches were showing that, well, basically what I need just more iodine. It was 2004. Back then there was not so many product that was open actually in health food stores, and natural medicine was not you know, first choice of anyone. And many people who has at least some kind of knowledge in something, you know, something natural, they were telling me that I have to eat bunch of seaweeds, right? And I'm talking now about the seaweed that they sell and they serve in the restaurants, in Japanese, Chinese restaurants, that they put in the sushi and so on. whenever I was buying the whole cases, the label on the cases was not there. For some reason, I was buying that from international stores, and label was not there. So I was opening this plastic box, and inside were a couple of plastic bags with the seaweed. Okay, so I was buying like it. I think it's considered as a case of that. And I was eating that, I was choking with that, and it didn't help me a bit. Since it didn't help me a bit, and I actually kind of was, I didn't know what I'm doing, I didn't know why I'm living, and so something has to happen, you know, in my life that I'm gonna feel back normal that I used to feel before, right? Uh, Here I'm standing in a line in a grocery store, and I could hear that somebody's just whistling, you know, to me and saying, "Hey, Tatyana," and I'm just turning my head around, and I see there's my, you know, it's my friend who used to do many years ago, prior to 2004, he used to perform surgery to my grandmother, and my grandmother back then already she was 91. He performed two surgeries. He did two surgeries on her when she was 91 and 92. She had very difficult case of hernias, and as many of you know, in that age to have some kind of surgery, it's kind of not easy, right? So he was the only doctor who actually agreed to operate on her, and he did magnificent job. He was very good. He's still very good doctor. He's very good surgeon, and he was asking how I'm doing, and he said, "Listen, why don't you come to my office, you know, and I'm gonna run a couple of tests on you, and why don't you agree on the surgery, you know?" And you know, being already kind of having set up of the natural medicine in my head, I was thinking that, well, surgery is not for me, and I'm trying to do everything naturally. Why not to try something natural, you know? And finally, he was explaining to me that, you know, you just have to know, even that your biopsy came back normal, which is benign, you have to know the way his explanation was that here's the apple, and you're biting apple from one side and it's really nice, from the other side and it's really nice, but inside could be a worm, which means that the biopsy cannot show the whole 100% result. Like today we did you did the biopsy and it came back normal, and maybe somewhere there's a cancer cells, you know. And of course, like many doctors, even my friend, so even him, he put a lot of fear into my head, you know. And whenever people have kind of low energy and low, kind of in a stressful situation in life, you getting anxiety and you getting kind of panic attacks from everything that you've heard, right? So, and I was kind of agree to do the surgery because I really trust him. I still trust him now. And in the 2 days, I was in a hospital, and he performed his excellent job cutting the thyroid area on my thyroid, actually, and that's it. So after I came back to life again, I would say, after my anesthesia was, you know, passing through my body, and I started to feel normal again, I decided to ask him if I can see what was my pathology and what you was operating on, and what was the nature of that actually pathogens, you know, because knowing medicine, I know that well, not everybody like that, again, I can tell you that, but I'm the person who always gonna just dig inside and go to the root of the problem, because right now, if I don't know what causes the problem, then again, I might you know, step on the same path, you know, and maybe I'm not doing something right, and again in the future I'm going to do the same wrong thing, and again it's going to bring me to the same problem, you know, the same nodules or something else. So anyway, after the surgery, in a couple of days, I was in his office again, and I was insisting on to give me my pathology report. That's what it was. And as I don't know if you guys ask anyone or anybody for pathology report. Probably not many people in United States and other countries actually have enough knowledge to do that, and nothing wrong with that, but I decided that why not to see what's going on with my cells, what was my exact pathology. So the pathology report actually came back that I had some residue on the top of my thyroid. Which one? It's not inside, it's not a cell, it's some kind of residue that was growing actually on one side of the thyroid, and it was very, very small part that was actually pressing my thyroid, and my thyroid was depressed and was suppressed, and I was depressed because of that. So because it did not function kind of in a full, it didn't thrive. So anyway, that's exactly part, I think it's 1/18th part, as long as I remember, or 1/16th part. Anyway, so let's say 1/18th part was removed, was actually scratched from my on a topical from the outside of the thyroid gland, right? And I started to think, living in a world that you're not getting enough, definitely supplements, you're not getting enough minerals, we're all deficient in minerals, whether we eating right or eating healthy, because even when we're eating organic, our soil already does not have any nutrients in it, because it's even if food that grown really in the good ways, organic and all natural ways, still our soil is not, it's kind of depleted, and you can read that in many, many sources. There's tons of books about that, tons of information on Google. So we're not getting enough what we have to get, and one of the main thing that we're not getting enough, unfortunately, a lot of people don't know, and they kind of ignoring that. And I'm not promoting anyone to take the stuff what I'm going to mention right now, but it's something just to think about that, right? So, and especially one of the main mineral many people very underestimate, especially women underestimate, because it's mostly it's excellent for all females. It was iodine. And growing up in Russia, and actually in a family of renowned doctors of the Soviet Union, I grew up the way how that every springtime and every fall time, I had many kids of Soviet Union who were taking care of them, whose parents were taking care of them. We had the shots, for good immune system, because the school was starting, and we had a B12 and B6 shots just to keep up with good energy, to keep up with a good educational level, and so on and so on. Here, when I came to United States, this is what actually I was doing. I went to the health food store, and actually in two health food stores, because back then there was not a big choice in all the natural stuff in the stores, not a good variety, I would say, and I was not into the companies, I would say, I was more into the labels, what says on the label, and I was taking it for granted, which one, I had my lesson, so I shouldn't do that. Anyway, and back then, anytime, whenever I needed something, of course, I would go to health food store and get some bottle of very good, like vitamin B's and C's, and very simple thing, whatever I could find in the store, basically. However, we all have to know that many things in health food stores, yes, the stores, it says, the name says for itself, it's supposed to be healthy product, supposed to be maybe even organic, but however, whenever it's the bottle labels as a natural, it doesn't mean that all stuff inside is organic. A lot of people assume that, and this is the biggest problem. This is what I did, in fact. I was thinking it says natural, that means it's all natural, and why not to take it. However, the bottles, I'm not going to mention what companies there were. The companies were very, very renowned, and people buying these companies every day. But what's another problem, that the workers that work in the health food stores, they maybe one person out of all health food store have knowledge, have education, actually not only knowledge but education on the supplements and on the right ratio, and know about the even names of the fillers and names of the, and which company uses the heavy metals, and the anyway. So this is what I was taking, very good companies that people buying every day. Whenever I'm in a health food store, I see them, and sometimes I just want to say something, but I just don't want to hear that it's none of your business. Like, who are you anyway, So, and I'm kind of, that's why I'm doing the video for many people, and I'm giving them information that I have video channel. So if you would like to know something, just go on my video channel. Here's my business card, and here's all information about me. Anyway, and being naive enough, after my surgery, I realized that everything that I was taking, it was heavy metals. The product was contaminated with heavy metal. It was a lead. It was lead, mercury, aluminum. One more stuff was in there. I think it was arsenic. Yes, it was arsenic, and also a lot of fillers. So I decided just to go to health food store, and just to, I'm not a person who's gonna sue anyone. This is not for me. I mean, whatever happened. A lot of people like to sue, and I don't know if their life becoming better, problem more richer, but the health wise they're not becoming better. To me, it's just like energy distraction. But anyway, I could do it definitely. But however, I decided to go to health food stores and speak to managers, and both managers, I know I was extremely naive. I just was stating the fact that this is my pathology report, and and this is what I had, and I had it because I was accumulating. Actually, this is the one of the first part. This your throat, and this is one of the thyroid is very close. So thyroid is very vulnerable organ gland. So I decided to let them know that this is what you have, and this is what I was taking, and this is what I've got. And both of them actually in one store and in another store, they were looking at me, and one guy actually said, he was very nice, and he said, oh, you know what, honey, we're not responsible for anything what's inside. Basically we're just retailers, which is very, very true. They're retailers, and they just, yes, they are retailers, but still they're, as a retailer, and in one place it was a private, so well, all the stores are private, right? But one of the store was the smaller store. I think they have to know basically what's their I don't know, people who's responsible to order product. They have to know what companies better. And I said, well, that's more than enough. Yes, I just wanted to see what their approach would be to my what their response would be to my needs, to my, I would say, kind of, statement. And yeah, that's everything I wanted. And since that day, it was already 2005 when I did my surgery. I decided that I have to be very careful with everything what I'm buying out of on the internet, from the store, and so on and so on, because this is what I had my lesson, and I didn't want to. Other people to have other of my family member to have the same lesson, and so on. And after that, I started to kind of, I put myself on a chair, and I decided that I have to find a way. I have to find a way, because I have to take, we all have to take some supplements. This is my, just taking supplements. I don't know what many people think, but to me, it's my best insurance. Instead of, this is what I'm thinking, right? I don't know not everybody agree with me, and this is fine. We don't have to be agree with each other. Well, the millions people out there, and we don't have to agree with each other. However, since it's my channel, I I'm telling you my thoughts and my conclusion, and why I came to this conclusion. What actually was leading me to all this information, to be given out to you guys. So, and I think that nowadays, I mean, to have a life insurance, to have the medical insurance, it's very good. But preventional medicine is nobody canceled yet, right? So thanks God, and we have to have a prevention. I mean, we're gonna eat all kinds of like kale salad, and that's another story you can watch, by the way, about kale salad on my video channel, that I'm not a big fan of all this kale and spinach salad. You can watch that also. However, that we can eat as healthy as we think. However, it's not only what we are what we eat. It's what we are digesting and what we are assimilating, and so on and so on. There's many processes involved into that, and we have to know that we are not what we eat and not what we drink. It's also how's our body responding on all these processes and all those healthy foods and so on and so on. Anyway, so whenever I put myself in front of computer, and 2005 again, I'm mentioning that it was actually right before that YouTube came to the service. So I was doing my researches on Google, and all of a sudden it came to my mind that to type in a searcher what supplements our presidents of the country are taking, and their families, something like that. And all of a sudden the result was there actually, and it came back that many articles, I just had to go through some of them, and I had to kind of sort them, because there's a huge article, and I was just reading a couple of the lines between that. Yeah, I did very profound job. So, and I learned that actually 3 presidents of 3 different countries are taking supplements from company Nature Sunshine. And very honestly, I haven't heard anything about this company. Shame on me, I know. So, but how should I know that if I was not in this country, So anyway, I mean, this country now is 26 years, but I was doing other things, and I was in my schools, because I had to, when I came here, I had to go through all my medical things here in the United States, and it's completely different education. Regular medicine is completely different from integrated medicine. This is no doubt, this is no questions. It's different concept, and it's different set of mind, it's different doctors, it's different everything. I'm so happy, I'm so glad that many of the medical doctors, MDs right now, not so narrow-minded, and they're very open to learn and to know about natural medicine, because even a few years ago it seemed like only like integrated naturopath and only chiropractors were doing natural medicine. But now more and more MDs are into that, and actually they kind of know no, not much. You have to find a doctor. Maybe out of huge city, you can find only 2 or 3 knowledgeable MDs. MDs are knowledgeable, but if they have any knowledge in natural medicine, so basically. And I was thinking back then I shouldn't go with my medical degree in the United States, because it's not what I believe anymore. I do believe, of course, in medicine, and I do believe in antibiotics. You can read actually a lot of things about me on my website. It's www.europeandetox.com, and but we have to take, of course, certain things, for very, whenever, death or life situation. Yes, we have to take antibiotics, maybe like huge doses. But whenever it's not necessary, but the regular doctor is going to relentlessly just make this prescription for you just to get rid of you from their their offices and spending with you like only 3 to 5 minutes. This is ridiculous, and so knowing all these things, I knew that I have to do something. So I decided to go to Nature Sunshine website, and I started to browsing, and I decided that, well, they basically have everything I needed, and I placed my first order by myself. Whenever I placed my order, it was asking me some questions, that if I have any sponsor, I think, or distributor who I want to be under, and of course I said no, I don't. And already I just would like to mention that prior to 2005, I already have been in 3 multi-level companies here in the United States. And well, this is the long story. The companies were I even don't want to mention, it's the biggest, it's conglomerated companies, but it's absolutely nothing about health, okay? And anyway, so I decided that I'm gonna call like customer service of Nature Sunshine, and I'm gonna beg them to not to give me any distributor, I mean, if it's possible, of course. So I'm going to be on my own, or at least to ask them to call distributor and ask them not to bother me, not to call me and say like all the time, hey, it's end of the month and you have to order because you're losing your point and I'm losing my point, whatever, you know how many of you know how it goes in multi-level marketing. And I'm not into this company just to make money. I'm into the company just to bring my health back to normal and health of my kids also. Anyway, I called, and customer service, always nice. By the way, they're always nice. And they warned me that it is impossible, you're still gonna have some upline like your sponsor, but we're gonna ask that person not to call you and not to bother you, And I said, well, okay, let's do that. Anyway, to make the long story short, my story is never short actually, so that about and very, very softly were asking if it's me, and I said yes, and she said, hey, my name's so and so, and I just would like to introduce yourself, and you are under me in my group. I'm your sponsor for Nature Sunshine. I'm not gonna bother you, I'm not gonna call you, I'm not gonna tell you to order anything, so you know everything. So, and until today, we're friends with that lady. She's a wonderful lady. She's never bothered me, and she knows that I'm going to order whenever I need and whenever. I just really want everybody to know that like about them, First, I would rather wait for a few months, maybe, usually it's not like few months, but maybe for a month, before they're going to find the right ingredient and a clean one, so before they're going to put in their company. So what I really like about them myself, that I never actually check their invoices. Well, first couple of times I did, and I said it's wasted time. Always on the time, always the greatest ingredients, always. And I'm saying right now that not because I get any profit from the company. Actually, I don't, period. And they, they don't know actually that I'm talking about them. Well, maybe whenever I'm gonna make this video, I'm gonna call them and say, hey guys, I spoke, a couple of good words about you. But, but I don't. Nobody asked me to speak about that. I just decided because I woke up this morning with this idea of appreciation, that I have in my hands, and I decided to share with you. And also, this is actually gonna be my my base of the video, new playlist. Well, it has about, I think it's 600 products, maybe more now. So at least on our cost, I'm to speak, since I have a lot of information about the products, about every ingredients, about the contraindication, about the warnings, and so on and so on. I decided to start to do new playlist for you guys. So if you would need any information about any products, whether you're ordering from me or not, of course would be nice if you're in United States to sign under me, because you're getting information from me, and I think I have a right to get some at least credits, right? And the credits would be just your sign-ups under me as a sponsor. I would be very very happy with that. And also to another company, and who works with Nature Sunshine, it's actually the company who releasing all information and the websites and so on and so on, and they gave me such a privilege. I have now Nature Sunshine website on my website. So what doesn't mean that you're opening 3wseuropeandetox.com and you scrolling down, it's all on the home page, first page, and right there you're going to see Nature Sunshine logo, and clicking on this logo, you ordering straight from me. Another reason why I think that you would guys gonna have really good benefits ordering from me, because information what I have on my website is complete ingredients and about what this product's good for, what is not, and so on. You can open it up for yourself, and you're gonna just enter completely different new world where you're gonna take your health into your hands, and if you want to, I would be happy to lead you in the right way, in the right direction, to help yourself and your kids. I have to tell you that for all these years I was more than happy to be with the company. I was more than happy to order the stuff that actually works. And I don't know, they work with a kind of synergetically, every ingredients, and I know, and I learn more and more ingredients, not from them, I actually learn. It's my job, and and I have a lot of other certificates besides all other degrees, and I know that if the product has the right ratio or has the right components putting together, sometimes you're getting bottle and there's one ingredient killing another ingredients, and it's like, my goodness, this is gonna cancel another one, and how this is the problem, because people taking supplements, taking vitamins, whatever you call them, I call them all supplements, and you basically killing yourself, sometimes not knowing what's in a bottle. So about Nature Sunshine, after learning everything, after being on tons of seminars and webinars, and I'm just following for them everywhere, and I was really happy that these guys, they know what they're doing. So of course it's best quality control, and if you would like to hear more about every product that belongs to that company, just let me know. Thumbs up, this would be number first one, because I'm very busy in my clinic, like I said, I'm doing tons of things. I have also the very profound test that can check you if you want only for Nature Sunshine. If you're around here, it's very, very profound. It shows every organ in this separation. It shows your the teeth and your spine and the nervous connection and everything. It's very, very profound test. So, and if you want to, I can set up only to check which Nature Sunshine product gonna help you with all this, to bring your body into one whole piece, one alignment, because the reason why I'm really promoting integrated medicine, because we all have to, our body have to work in homeostasis, we have every illness, whatever person have, any symptoms, any syndromes, any autoimmune sometimes diseases, it does not come on a physical level right away, because before our physical body, physical body is actually the one of the last last page in the book, like I'm saying. We have several bodies, like karmic body, our emotional body, our mental body, our many bodies there, astral body. We have different bodies, because everything comes first here, of course, to our GI tract, and then it goes to the in a I would say atoms of the seconds to our head, and this is how we accept all our information. And like to get this information, of course I'm going to give it to you, and I'm going to start this playlist. And now I have to tell you about this, what's going on with this my channel, because I have a channel on two languages, right? I know many people probably, because sometimes I see whenever I'm making video in Russian, a couple of English speaking guys kind of unsubscribing, and so on, or vice versa. I understand very, it's perfectly fine. But the reason why I decided to do it, because my first thought whenever I set up my channel, I actually didn't want to do any YouTube channel. I'm not like I always think that I'm not like kind of like it's not for me. It would be better for me if I'm gonna give my information to the people who's coming and who is really wants to know stuff, not like that just to everyone. Maybe I'm just killing somebody else's time, who knows, right? But I started to have more and more subscribers, and I'm very, very happy with that, guys, so please stay with me. And but we have many immigrants in the United States, and I'm being from former Soviet Union. I know how many families, they speak both languages at home. So I speak Russian at home with my mother, right? With my younger generation, with my kids, I speak English, of course. And sometimes, of course, my kids can understand some English, but not, I mean, some Russian, not everything, of course. Sometimes it's easier to say one thing, one phrase in English instead of like try to make them speak, or understand more Russian, which is perfectly fine with me. I'm not, I'm okay with that. And and some elderly generation, the grandmothers and moms, they don't know. Not many people. Let's say it truthfully, not many people even know how to turn the computer on and just to browse on a YouTube, especially people who are, many people who are 17, who is immigrants from other countries. That's true, okay? So basically I was thinking that I'm gonna have one channel, and the parents gonna watch one video in Russian language, and a youngest one gonna watch it in English, right? So they don't have to switch channels, they don't have to go to another, and look for that, because sometimes people losing all passion, when they lose, when they looking for something, and they saying, oh well, maybe next time. And so I decided to keep like my all my videos like all one family, and if just make two different playlists, and one you can see it says videos in Russian, and one is videos in English. So basically this is what was my first goal, and I think it's more convenient, and a lot of, like I said, a lot of people know both languages, and if they don't pick up something in Russian, they can get it in English, and vice versa. I also have to tell that uh, that I was making a couple of videos about very, very natural, the medicine and stuff like that, and I had to remove them in English. However, I have them in Russian somehow. So, and and yeah, maybe like TMI I was giving, who knows. However, yeah, this is what I hope I brought my idea to all of your brains, and if you would like to pick up some of my brain, I would be more than happy. Just let me know with your thumbs up, signing on my channel, hitting this, the bell button. So because otherwise, if you're gonna ask me questions and you didn't hit the bell button, you don't know if I released any video or not. I'm not the one who's gonna solicit your phones and the YouTube, because I have no time. I'm very busy in the clinic, I'm doing tons of things, but I just wanted to let you know this product from Nature Sunshine brought me back to life. And of course now, since I already have my own clinic, and I work with a lot of children, there's a certain core product that is winter is coming. We have to have certain core product in our house that I always have for my grown children now, the and it's always helpful, the certain things. And the thing is that you're not paying you're not paying any extra, you're not paying retail, you paying your direct price, and the price is worth it. Very honestly, it's worth it. So you're paying your direct price, you're not going anywhere, you're just clicking the button before, in your free time, and all your product comes to your doorstep. And believe me, you're going to be very happy with the product. And well, I hope to hear from you soon. If you want to leave me your feedback, would be great. And I'm still, I don't know whether you want it or not, because maybe just first set of my folks who don't want to listen and other people do. I'm gonna continue and do all this videos about nature sunshine, because I think they gonna bring a lot of benefits to people. And I have certain books that not everybody actually can, not everybody will have, I know, even if they're going to become a distributor. And I have many interesting information from other sources about certain products. I have people who was taking, and there are testimonials, and so on and so on. So basically what I was trying to tell you, that after my thyroid problem, so I decided to go with the company, and I never regret that, not a second, not a minute. Okay, so, and I hope that you never gonna regret that either, if you on a health path, and if you wanna do something on the basis of the of the bringing your cells back to normal and bringing your health back to normal, your and your kids and your loved ones and your elderly ones. It's really, really worth it. So, again, my name was Tatyana Galaxy, and I'm holding PhD in integrated medicine. I'm practicing here in the most beautiful part of North Carolina, in the Blue Ridge Mountains, in Asheville. You're welcome to stop by. However, now it's not a good time to stop by in the clinic, because I'm moving my clinic around the corner. It's going to be the same plaza, and I'm moving the clinic around the corner. So I'm working with the builders right now, and I think it's gonna take me about a couple of months. So it's good time to visit me, maybe sometimes in January, starting February. I'm gonna be fully kind of open, because I'm not fully closed here yet. I'm still here in between here and there. So, and again, thank you so much for your attention, and I hope you guys have really, really nice, the time of the day. And I was very enjoying being with you as always, and you have my love. Bye.